Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. All right, you guys, good morning. All right, this picture above was taken by some friends of mine that are on vacation in Greenland, and they were there watching the sun come up. I think that's a beautiful photo, and I'm jealous. I've never been to Greenland. Yeah, I'm going to make it there one day also. We have a lot to cover today, and then I have a message at the end that I hope everybody will be happy to hear. Okay, let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off with a few small little tidbits. For instance, yesterday, Charles was on that tour. I showed you guys in the video. Apparently, somebody offered him his free haircut. I don't think he needed a haircut, but okay, it was nice that they offered. Next up, remember I showed you guys this picture yesterday. It's allegedly appears that Meghan might have been pregnant at this time. Well, one of my followers sent me, her name was Heidi, she sent me this picture from Twitter. What do you guys think of that? I mean, they said it was an unfortunate angle on the dress. I've never seen a dress do that. Next up, I found this on Twitter from a Kylier, which, yeah. No explanation necessary. Moving on. All right, the new archetypes, Asian stereotypes dropped. Unbelievable. She gets on there with Margaret Cho, the comedian, and Lisa Ling, and starts, I don't know, she brings up the 20-year-old movie Austin Powers, and starts complaining about the movie. She brings up the 2003 cult hit Kill Bill that Lucy Liu starred in. And suddenly these movies that shot these women to stardom and stuff, suddenly they're not good. And she didn't realize the stigmatism faced by women of Asian descent until many years later. And they played clips from these movies. Now, in the middle of this, of course, Meghan turned the conversation back to herself and talked about going to a Korean spa with her mother as a teenager. And it was humbling because you're walking around naked and waiting to get body scrubbed. I'm sorry, wasn't she eating off the Sizzler salad bar because they were so poor? How is she walking around a Korean spa getting body scrubs? She's complaining, I wanted to be in a bathing suit, but, we would sit in a room and have steaming bowls of the most delicious noodles. Again, I thought she was poor. What happened? As for Lisa Ling, I'm sure that she did have some very nasty things done. I mean, whatever. But she just crapped all over the movies that shot her to stardom, so I won't be watching anything else that she's in. Now, it would seem that because Meghan likes to lie all the time and she keeps getting caught out in her lies, she doesn't want that to happen anymore. So she's hired a woke fact checker. So when she tells these stories, like the one she told about the Lion King, they can catch the lies that she told before they get aired. Now, that's some scary stuff that you've got a problem, and so you're going to have somebody check what you say before you air it. Guys, there's one thing that you have to know. You don't have to hire fact checkers, and you don't have to worry about your memory if you're always telling the truth, All right, moving on. I haven't seen any pictures of this, but it's being claimed that Princess Anne left from Heathrow Airport for the United States, New York. She's president of the English-speaking Union of the United States. And again, I haven't seen any photos, but it's being claimed that she attended a gala dinner at the Cosmopolitan Club. I hope some photos show up. I'd love to see that. All right, moving on. All right, next up, remember I showed you this article. They're claiming Prince Harry regrets his marriage to Meghan Markle. Well, we've all seen these photos of how unhappy he looks. He looked unhappy on his first tour. There it is. He looked unhappy as he sat on the stage during the One Young World thing where Meghan was wearing that red outfit, with the tie. And then here he is looking upset, at the Platinum Jubilee. We've all seen these. He looks absolutely miserable. Articles are coming out now saying that he looks exactly as Edward VIII did, and he radiates the same sadness as the king who abdicated for Wallis Simpson. And of course, we found out later on, after they both had passed away, that she did not love him. I mean, could you imagine? You give up being king for somebody who's not even in love with you. Crazy. All right, next up, we've seen these articles. William doesn't trust Harry. Of course not. They reached out, and what happened? It ended up with Gayle King on the morning news. You can only break William's trust, I think, one big time, and then it's over, and that's what happened. Moving on. William arrived at the London Science Museum for the United for Wildlife Summit. He met with one of the co-workers of the gentleman that was murdered. They spoke for a few minutes. Watch this.
Brilliant. It's been 4 years in the making. I think 7 years. I've been a little while. About 4 years ago, and then become close friends with him. And this year leading up to what happened.
William then gave a very moving speech. Here's a snippet for you.
I will keep this as brief as I can. I'm delighted you could all join us today. It's heartening to see so many familiar faces, whilst welcoming many new ones as well. You being here is a testament to how far United for Wildlife has grown. Our natural world is one of our greatest assets. It is a lesson I learned from a young age from my father and my grandfather, both committed naturalists in their own right, and also from my much missed grandmother, who cared so much for the natural world. In times of loss, it is a comfort to honour those we miss through the work we do. And I take great comfort then from the progress we're making to end the illegal wildlife trade.
All right, I touched on this yesterday, but I don't feel, when I went back and looked at it, I don't think Sophie got her due. And I want to make sure she does. So we're going to go back and look at this. So Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, traveled to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And in case I didn't mention it yesterday, I will let you know again that she is the very first royal to ever visit there, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. Love the clothing too, their rewears. Now, this trip comes before the International Preventing Sexual Violence in Conflict Initiative Conference, that's a mouthful, which is being hosted by the UK government in London in November, and of which Sophie will be attending. Her aim on this trip was to highlight the impact of sexual assault. We all know that she's done this before, when she was at the UN. This is nothing new to her. This is just an extension of something that she's already done and something that she's very passionate about. That's what I like about her. It seems that she got a very warm, friendly reception from everybody on her first day, and that it was a stellar win. Good for her. All right, on the next day, she met the people behind the Earthshot Prize finalists, the Pole Foundation, and they protect the gorillas of the national park there from poachers, and they work with local communities on initiative to develop skills for alternative livelihoods, things they can do that won't hurt the environment. Papa John, who is the founder of the Pole Foundation, gave Sophie a Congolese name, Umoja Mama Louise. Umoja means unity in Swahili, followed by the name of Papa or Mama and the name of her eldest child. So she saw the area, she met with some of the locals, she saw some of the local arts and crafts that they were doing. And I just love her because she's just so genuine. She's genuine. You know what I mean? You could just see the happiness oozing out of her pores, it's crazy. Love it. Now, she did plant a tree that had the plaque that had her Congolese name on it, which I think is very sweet. All right, so then the next day, Sophie went and hugged Nobel Peace Prize laureate Dr. Denis Mukwege, I hope I'm saying that right, as she visited a local hospital there that is giving support to sexual abuse survivors. It seems to me that, yes, the other royals are, obliging, but you don't see them throwing their arms around these people, hugging them like she does. She's just so personable. Anyway, she got there, she hugged him, she went into the building, and of course she started seeing some of these sexual assault and sexual abuse survivors, and she started talking to them as only Sophie can. Sophie saw firsthand some of the critical medical treatment and pioneering treatment provided to some of the women who endured brutal conflict-related sexual violence and trauma. Now, just for those of you who don't know, this visit was at the request of their Foreign Office because they wanted to raise awareness of the sexual violence. And the Pansy Hospital, where Sophie met with the doctor, it's reported they see the birth of 3,500 babies a year, which are all the result of sexual abuse and assault. Oh, goodness. All right, moving on. You know, this is why Charles is holding back the titles. This is exactly why. We've all seen this beautiful portrait that was put up that shows, you know, the line of succession, and it shows family and stability. And you know that every time the royal family does anything, Harry and Meghan have to do something to try to counter it. How many times have we seen this over the last 2 years? Sure enough, they released their own portrait. And of course, it was picked up, as you can see by the news. Very interesting timing. Why would you release this now? Once again, very staged photos. The magazine picked it up. She's in front of Harry. She's not beside Harry. She's in front of Harry, which I think clearly shows their relationship, because it's her podcast, her covers, her speeches. Harry's just her ticket in the door. Harry's just along for the ride. Anyway, we know who took the photos. Same guy who takes all their photos, even the ones long distance from an iPad. Remember this guy that was at the birthday party? Anyway, it didn't take long for the memes to start showing up, like this one. How about this one? Yeah, this is more like it. But this next one, oh my goodness. Thank you to Lean Meme Machines on Twitter for this one. Yeah, that's a good one. So I'm guessing since the kids didn't get the titles, they're going to go back into competition with them. But I have to agree with what Harry's gray suit wrote. We like your authentic self, right? Yeah, you're bald, Harry. Stop with the photoshopping already. All right, finally, I found this on Twitter. Interesting. Back in 2018, this woman claims that Oprah Winfrey basically handed her over to Harvey Weinstein. Now, of course, once the whole scandal broke, she claimed she didn't know Weinstein and she didn't really hang out with him. Obviously, pictures show differently. I'd like to know what the follow-up was to that, and I'm going to research it. And talking about Oprah, just so you guys are aware, Meghan is trying to stop Prince Harry from being depositioned after the whole rags to riches Oprah story that they told. We know that Samantha Markle is suing for defamation because she told a bunch of lies. Meghan told a bunch of lies during the interview. Let's not forget that Samantha says that Meghan spun this whole rags to royalty story, which apparently is false. And so Meghan's lawyers are attempting to block moves by Samantha's attorney to deposize or to question Thomas Markle. Lawyers for Samantha said they want to depose him under oath between October 5th and the 21st. And they want to go ahead and do a deposition for Prince Harry and Oprah. Meghan's attorneys asked the judge to stop all of this until there's a ruling on whether the lawsuit's going to be thrown out. Now, Meghan's argument is that I didn't make those statements in Finding Freedom. Omid made those statements, forgetting the fact that she gave the information to Jason Knopf to give to Omid. And she said that her statements to Oprah were non-actionable because they're her opinion. And they're substantially true, if you can believe it. She's basically saying that doing a deposition of her dad would be an unnecessary spectacle and a waste of everyone's time and money. And that Samantha shouldn't have to force Meghan and numerous non-parties to devote resources when a motion is still on the table to throw the whole case out. Ladies and gentlemen, this case is not going to be thrown out. I can tell you right now, this case will not be thrown out. Personally, I think Meghan Markle is going to try to settle this quietly out of court. I hope Samantha doesn't do that. I hope Samantha takes it all the way. That way, all the evidence can be, placed out there. All right, I'm just throwing this tweet in here at the end. Somebody sent it to me and said, Boozy's still stalking you. I was like, what? Apparently, he's having a Twitter battle with somebody named Caroline. Again, all of this is legally above my pay grade. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. I'm happy to donate money, but I'm not sure what's happening. Anyway, notice at the bottom, it's saying the drama should go on vacation. They hear Hawaii is nice. Hey, Christopher, Hawaii is freaking fabulous. And you could find out yourself if you flew there. But in order to fly there, you'd have to open your front door and come out of your house. And since you're hiding in there from the process servers, I think it might be a long time before you get there. Seriously, go to Hawaii. It's fabulous. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So here's what's going on. I would like to think that one of the formulas that I've adhered to in the last 2 years is the fact that I'm a no drama zone. I have stayed out of the drama, except for Mr. Boozy, who's dragging me in. I have stayed out of all the drama going on. I really have. The only videos that I've done are the ones that affect me as far as Mr. Boozy goes. So I've been asked by several people to appear on their shows about what's going on. Now, I went on Popcorn Planet, I think it is. Those guys are fabulous. And that was because I was once again in Mr. Boozy's report. And of all the things that anybody could find wrong with my videos, because I don't threaten, I don't call people names, I don't say mean things about people, was my thumbnails. He didn't like my thumbnails. This was his complaint. So anyway, there's people doing interviews, and somebody, I'm not going to throw names, but there's somebody who had a problem with Taz and called Taz a bully, had a problem with Megan's mole and called Megan's mole a bully, was having a meltdown on Twitter about a year or two ago, and I went on there and said, listen, if you're having a problem, fine, but this isn't the right forum. Take it off of Twitter. At which time I was called a bully. I said, done. So you can imagine how I feel when there was recently an interview done with this person, and the person that's doing the interviewing told me that, I said, listen, you might want to be careful because some of these people have been in touch with Mr. Boozy. They admit that they've been in touch with Mr. Boozy. And this person wrote back and said, they accused you of the same. And I went, stop, hold it. I don't think anybody believes that for 1 second, but it struck me that I'm being pulled into the drama. I have nothing to do with Nate's legal case. I hope he wins it. I really do. I have nothing to do with Jason Goodman's legal case. I hope he wins it. I really do. I am financially going to donate money. I'm supportive. But I realize that I need to stay in my lane. This is just too much drama for me. And I think one of the reasons why my channel has been growing, albeit slowly, because I've been doing this over 2 years and I don't even have 50,000 subscribers, is because I don't get in the drama. And so I've just decided I'm staying in my lane, people. Not going there. I'm just going to keep doing what I do. And one other thing I want to address. People have been saying online that I've been begging for money. I don't think I've ever begged for money. I'd like somebody to show me where I begged for money. I do thank in every video people who have donated to my coffee fund and through my thanks button. And I will continue to do that because in this economy, if you're donating money for me so that I can buy coffee for my freaking expensive machine, yes, you deserve a thank you. So I will continue to thank you. That's me. All right, you guys. Once again, lots of information. What do you think about William's speech? And what do you think about Sophie's trip? Yes, leave those comments below. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you know when I upload new content. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Gettr, Rumble. You can email me. For those who have donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. Don't forget about my Patreon. And as always, you guys, have a great day.